Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Hazardous Materials and Waste. My name is Mr. Pule. I'll be the instructor for this course, and you'll see my name in the syllabus and in the introduction in the instructor's comments and plastered all over the place. First thing, every time I come on, I'll have I kind of like these different backgrounds. So one thing you have to understand, doing these backgrounds that I'm starting each of these videos, don't believe anything I say in the beginning of it because I'm just kind of setting the stage here. For instance, right now I'm in my front yard, and over here they're the Spiral Mountains, and that I think right there over this side I think that's Cavalo Hill, but I'm not sure. So it's my front yard. How would I know? I've lived here 15 years. Anyhow, let's get started on this course. This module is just the introduction, so it's not going to be too long, and there's a lot of good stuff in this course. The book is excellent. It's free. It's on the modules. If you look in the class stuff there on Blackboard, you'll see the big introduction, and then you'll see a couple of different things before you get to module 1. And 2 of those are the 2 books you'll be using in this class. You can download them and print them if you'd like, or you can just open them up there and look at them there. However you want to do it. Anyhow, this is a 3-hour course, so don't expect to have spend 3 hours on this plus, because if you were going to the class in 3 hours a week, you would there. I will turn that off. Sorry about that. If you're a 3-hour class, you would expect to do 3 hours in class and plus time reading the book and that thing out of class and doing assignments. So expect a lot of work in this class. And so let's get started with it anyhow. All right, it's just the introduction. We're going to share this video with you. I'm going to do this and kind of to introduce every section just to get things started. And the videos I'm going to do with the PowerPoints here are just the tip of the iceberg. You really have to read the book. It has way more detailed information in it. So this is here's hazardous materials, emergency responder kind of lesson, technical level. And this is the chapter 1 introduction. Now, this doesn't qualify you to be a responder. This is just an overview of it. To be a responder takes a lot of effort and a lot more learning than we have time for here. Course objectives, so understand the need for hazmat training. So we're going to talk some of the regulations and the laws, and really interestingly, how these regulations and laws came about. Comprehend responder safety. Responder safety is a huge part of any emergency response. And define and discuss emergency response plans, incident command system. Part of this class, you'll be taking a FEMA course in the incident command system, which will give you a lot more than you'll get in this course. Hazard communication standard, we're going to talk about it within the first part of this course in the book, and then the second part is entirely on that. And that's good because the hazard communication standard is probably one of the most misunderstood standards by the people that aren't in safety out there. And you're going to hear all kind of weird things about it, but it is what it is. Hazard communication, pretty simple. We'll talk about safety data sheets, explain the dot placard and label systems, emergency response guidebook, talk a lot about hazmat technology, and we're going to talk a lot about hazardous effects of various chemicals. Discuss air monitoring and sampling, define and discuss types of PPE, categorize EPA levels of protection, comprehend procedures for regaining control of an incident after you've taken care of things, the main thing, decontamination procedures, and we're not going to have a practical exercise in protective ensembles because this is an online class. Explain the nature of hazardous chemicals and how knowledge and planning is important to the responder. So this just chemical releases in you. This is just introduction here in this class. So what's hazmat? Hazardous waste and why are you here? Hazardous waste operations defined as involves employee exposure to hazardous substances and waste. A hazmat incident is an incident or intentional release of hazardous materials. Hazmat just means hazardous materials. HazWOPER is kind of a combination of words. Hazardous waste operations, and then they threw on emergency response on the end. So that's what HazWOPER means. It's a combination of OSHA And that's 29 CFR 1910.120. It's a huge, huge regulation. And ER, emergency response, and that comes from the EPA end of things, Environmental Protection Agency. So chemical releases in you. Okay, we deal with hazardous materials every day. You probably don't realize it, but you probably do some way or another. Maybe not every day, but almost every day. If not at work, at home even. So proper safeguards help chemicals contribute to our daily lives. We have these chemicals because they're useful to us. When mishandled or improperly disposed of, they become hazardous and incidents occur. Improper disposal of hazardous waste sparks concern among the public. Major incidents across the world require action. Texas City, Texas, Love Canal, Valley of the Drums, Bhopal, India, Tokyo subway attack. We're going to talk about most of these in more detail. You're going to see videos on them. They're going to be very interesting and probably eye-opening, because most people just kind of see this on the news and that's how it's over in New York, and I'm in Oklahoma, so who cares? But you're going to find out, and you're going to see how they led to some of the things that are in our regulations today. This was a picture from the I-440 tanker incident, and you can see what they've got. They've got the pigs around there. That's what they call that floating stuff, ring around to hold the probably oil floating on the surface, and they're pulling it out of there. Misidentified cargo can be a mess. That's a wreck of some kind of vehicle, and they're trying to figure out what the heck is in there. So that's why you have DOT labeling and placards, the type of thing we'll talk about later. Chemical releases in you. Hazardous chemical releases may occur in the home, but they're seldom a problem, but they can create hazardous situations. Bleach and ammonia. Everybody probably has, almost, I'm sure they do, has some kind of bleach, sodium hypochlorite, and something with ammonia in it, window cleaner or any kind of cleaners. A lot of cleaners have ammonia in them. And sometimes people get the bright idea, says, boy, this bleach does a good job on it, and ammonia does a good job on it. What if I put them together and get one super cleaner? Wouldn't that be great? No. Sodium hypochlorite is the active ingredient in chlorine bleach. When I first went to work at OK Foods, they kept talking about chlorine. I'm like, chlorine, man, they're using chlorine in the plant? I mean, just plain chlorine? That's nasty stuff. Then I realized, no, that was sodium hypochlorite, and about 10%, 5 to 10, 15% levels of sodium hypochlorite, which is basically bleach. So they were calling it chlorine because that's just what they got used to calling it. And so the problem with bleach is it reacts with ammonia, drain cleaners, and other acids, producing chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is nothing to mess around with. Chlorine gas and water combine to make hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. So some chemicals we frequently use at home safely can be dangerous when combined with others. Unless you're a chemist who knows what they're doing, never combine household cleaners. That's the first lesson you learn in this class. I hope it lasts, because people do it and people get hurt from it. So that's it for this introductory chapter. I hope you enjoy the course. I think you will. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of meat and potatoes in this course. You will learn a lot of stuff, and I trust it will be very interesting to you. So that's it for this introduction. And I think I'll go climb, get my computer, go climb the Spiral Mountain. Bye.